Rahul, I know it at that journey. Is there something that stands out? What was the most challenging part that was the biggest hurdle for your, this score that you eventually got?
So I think verbal was kind of the biggest hurdle that I found in this
Mm-hmm.
entire process. This was the first GMAT I took. Like I took GC as well in the previous one. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, I did a good set of questions, but
Mm-hmm.
I was still not being able to come up with what it was exactly. Like
Mm-hmm.
say critical reasoning. I couldn't like your quant is my strength, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a pattern to every question. There's a good
Mm-hmm.
understanding to every question. It's arithmetic or algebra.
Mm-hmm.
But critical reasoning, every question was new to me. It
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, fine. There's a problem statement. They have a requirement.
Mm-hmm.
How do we do this?
Mm-hmm.
So that was an issue that I found critical reasoning. Similarly,
Mm-hmm.
in reading comprehension, so I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
find a pattern. So
Got it.
that was
Got
the
it.
biggest hurdle for me.
Mm-hmm.
But later, thanks to eGMAT as well, like I was able to come up with, what the pattern is, and
Mm-hmm.
that really helped.
So what you're essentially saying is you were taking it one question to one question. You didn't have a set process which you could use to solve that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So let's talk about that, right? You said verbal was the biggest hurdle in this
yeah,
score. And so when you joined eGMAT, you started with verbal. And the
yeah,
first aspect of verbal that you covered was master comprehension, which is sort of a
yeah,
foundational course in verbal, which is intended to give students a head start into it.
yeah.
So tell me, how did you find master comprehension and what value did it add towards your preparation?
Definitely. So master comprehension, even during my training and while we were interacting so much, you used to suggest maybe I can skip a few pieces in critical reasoning or reading comprehension based on my previous experience and all. But master comprehension was a no-go.
Mm-hmm.
You suggest I complete it end to end, and I did it. Okay, and uh, I realized how integral it is because
Mm-hmm.
master comprehension kind of falls at the root of critical reasoning, reading comprehension, and even data insights.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people might like data insights might not have the same extent of requirement,
Mm-hmm.
but it definitely does. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
like so every minute helps in during the exam. And master comprehension, it really focuses on how do you understand the statement in the least amount of time possible,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and how you should actively read it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like whatever exercises were there, and even the pre-recorded sessions, they were
Mm-hmm.
really useful for the
Mm-hmm.
journey overall. Yeah,
That's brilliant. So you turned from a non-believer to a believer once you did the course. That's
yeah, yeah. That was that's the short way to put it. Yeah,
yeah, that's brilliant. So you took that right step towards verbal improvement, right? Now
yeah,
coming to CR, you are relatively better in CR as compared to RC, but your fundamental issues there were with inference, assumption, and boldface, right? Now,
yeah,
if we have to group inference and assumption, you did do that part of it, and you did pick up rethinking, right? And
yeah,
I know
yeah.
that helped in a brilliant kind of an improvement to such an extent that across your last stages you were hardly making any mistakes in CR, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So tell me, what value did rethinking add, and what difference did you see post you picking that up and using that technique?
Yeah. So rethinking, like whoever tries to attack a critical reasoning question, right? They inherently do some rethinking. I mean, like, but thing is, you need someone who says that out loudly that, hey, you really need
Mm-hmm,
to do that.
mm-hmm,
If you get the right option, that means definitely you did rethinking at some point.
mm-hmm,
But what I really liked was the amount of stress that was put on it instead of just
mm-hmm,
hey, you have five options in front of you. See the one which looks more beautiful, most beautiful.
uh-huh,
Doing the right amount of pre-thinking and inference assumption. Not just these actually. And after a point, it becomes a practice where you target any CR question with
mm-hmm,
some sort of pre-thinking.
mm-hmm,
Before you even go to the question stem, you try to understand what
mm-hmm,
the author is trying to say.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
So that was a very useful piece for me throughout the critical reasoning journey.
mm-hmm,
And and as you mentioned, boldface, I think that's a piece I'm actually personally really proud of,
Mm-hmm.
because that showed the major improvement in through eGMAT. So,
Mm-hmm.
like though they don't clearly say pre-thinking in that, but initially I used to get it all wrong,
Mm-hmm.
boldface. I think one of the tutors even mentioned that that's one question you can take positively 2 minutes during
Mm-hmm.
the recorded
Yes.
session. Uh, like it used to take me more than that, but
Mm-hmm.
because each statement has a lot to explain. So, but
Mm-hmm.
now I have come to a point where I don't get a wrong boldface question.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I
Mm-hmm.
actually target really well, and I become happy when I see that question, and you realize it's actually the point scoring thing in GMAT. So
That's so nice. And I have something to show our viewers and you too. I don't know if you've seen this graph, but here is your improvement in boldface. You know, you started out at a 18% accuracy, okay, uh,
okay.
for boldface questions, hard boldface questions, and by the time you were done, you are at a 71% accuracy, which is
Oh,
like
that's good. I didn't know.
it's it's a steep slope of
Yeah,
improvement. So
yeah,
brilliant. And another thing that I wanted to show was if we look at your progression through CR and you know the kind of improvement that did come out of internalizing these approaches, you can see you started out at a 50% accuracy for hard questions, and by the time you were done, you were at a consistent 65-70% accuracy for hard questions, which is an undeniable 90th percentile, right? So,
yeah,
the improvement that came is here as an evidence, of course, as your score. But yes, so this was predicted, this was anticipated, and it's all due to the effort that you put into really internalizing these processes, right? So,
oh, no, thank
co-
you. Yeah,
congratulations to you on that. Now, coming to RC, Rahul,
yeah,
RC was weaker area as compared to CR, right?
yeah, yeah.
And you did end up doing the entire course, picking up the reading strategies. So tell me, how did that really help you overcome the difficulties that you used to face in RC?
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, if I go a step back, master comprehension was a key tool that helped with reading
Mm-hmm.
comprehension. And even in reading comprehension, what I really liked about eGMAT was, as I said initially, right, I couldn't find the pattern. The pattern was given, like these are the kind of questions you might find. And definitely there are N institutions out there which do segregate it. But I found this the most comfortable. And
Mm-hmm.
I could really see that uh, there'll be the science questions will be a particular piece, and then political will be a particular piece,
Mm-hmm.
and even like there was also the extra information that was given, how I should be reading any paragraph in
Mm-hmm.
general. uh, there were, I think, some 7 to 8 steps which show that
Yeah.
predict what's happening, read actively, and identify new words. So overall, I've come to a point where whatever the state of the question, the answers would be, I could actually capture the essence of the author, which actually should help you score 70% of the
Mm-hmm.
questions.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then again, there'll be the things to look out for, like which of the following are not what the author wants and all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I really had to keep tab on. But overall, I think the RC section was really useful.
Mm-hmm.
And a particular benefit that I found was because so now I'm an employee and I barely get time to actually work on this. So what I really appreciated was during the initial assessments, I was told, these topics are something that you really need to focus on, and these we
Mm-hmm.
can maybe park a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, I completed them, but that was really useful for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
think reading comprehension was really great in that sense, like how eGMAT supported.
That's nice. That's very nice to know. And it's good that it really helped you get to your score that you have now,